Hello, welcome back to BlenderSushi live noding. Today I'm going to do another live noding video, and we're gonna do a little bit of explorations on 3D typography again. And this time I was inspired by this artwork in the gallery the other day, and there's one huge canvas where the artist just drips like a paint, like ink or color paint, and it creates all these kind of random drips. Most of them are kind of rounded, but each one has like slight variations in color. Like maybe the artist is dripping like two color ink, and so he has like hundreds or thousands of this ink drop, and it looks quite interesting. So I decided that maybe I could do the similar thing, and I will be using Blender, and I will use actually Sverchok to do that. It's not actually that hard. I'm just gonna show you a technique, and you can then use all this ink drops kind of pattern. It's not exactly like ink drop, but kind of. You can create something like this. So this is the 3D typography I was talking about. There are probably like hundreds of ideas I could make on for 3D typography using Sverchok and animation nodes. These are some of them. Okay, let's start from scratch. Okay, so this is gonna be maybe a rough ink drops typography, or type. It's not really typography. It's a 3D type. It's 3D text, you know. Let's hide the lamp and the camera. We don't need this box. Let's jump right ahead to turn on cycles, just in case we use cycles. So the idea is to be able to create kind of like a random shapes, right? Random shapes. You can probably draw some using grease pencil, and this is also kind of can be an interesting idea using just random scribbles of grease pencil. Maybe that's how I started. Okay, random shapes. You can use Sverchok. Sverchok have a lot of generator already that you can experiment with. There are endless ideas, but ngon is what we're gonna use in this case. Ngon by default will generate polygon, and polygon, how many polygon is totally up to you. By default it's like this, radius of 1, radius doing that, and at the moment you're only looking at points. You can either have one with just points, or point and edges, or one with polygon. Okay, polygon is the one we need, and you can increase or reduce the number of polygon. Minimum you have 3, which is just triangle, and then 4, 5, whatever. There's a random R and random phi. Random R, let's see what random R does. So it's randomizing, slightly randomizing the shapes. That's actually perfect for what we are doing. Does Sverchok have smooth? It doesn't have. It's okay. Random phi will kind of slides the points along edges. The seed, of course, gonna give us random. And there's a shift. The shift, only if you're using edges, you can use shift, and you can have like a star kind of pattern. Can be interesting, but you don't need that for now. Just the seed, and a little bit randomize phi and randomize R. So that should be good enough for us. Not too much, because we don't want to have overlapping. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's pretty good. Sometimes you will see like there's overlapping thing like that. That's actually okay. When you bake it, you don't get that overlapping. It's just a preview. Okay, so radius sides can have more. More might give you more variations. 5. Yeah, maybe do it like that. If we bake one, you can use this, and then you can even smooth it, kind of, so it's become more like ink drops. Yeah. Alright, let's work with this. If we want to have variations, if I use the matrix in for now, and then I will just use grid plane, and let's maybe instead of doing that, perhaps I could just reduce the radius, and then actually the radius needs to be a little bit larger. Maybe just increase the stepping. Now we have a bunch of them. Of course, we can have more. You can have hundreds or thousands different variations. At the moment, we are not seeing any variations because we need to use we need to randomize the seed, right? In Sverchok, almost everything is kind of looping, so you don't need in animation nodes you need loop nodes to do it. In Sverchok, you just use range integer and then use count. How many do we need? 100 variations. Just create 100 variations and plug in the range into the seed. Now we have 100 variations. If we increase the number, 20 times 5, that's 100 variations. As easy as that. Okay, that's your ink blob. Let's save this real quick. That's only the preview. If you want to use that, you either bake it, which I will do. Instead of baking it, I will use Mk2. So Viewer Mk2 will actually generate the result for us. Plug in the vertices, plug in the polygon and the matrix. There you go. That's our ink blob kind of objects. You can randomize the material. Let me give you a cycle material. So now it has cycle materials. Now what we're gonna do is to use this Vertex color new. This thing probably very rarely used. I don't know if anyone ever used this, but the loop will generate kind of random color for each vertex being generated, and that's gonna work with cycles. It's really cool, I think, and I have to show this, otherwise it's just no one probably gonna use it. SV color, and let's have a look at the result. Cannot see anything. Let me quickly check something. It's blender cycle, nothing. Let me check. SV color, alright. Okay, back to Sverchok. Because I forgot to plug in color. Plug in color there. The color in Sverchok we don't have color viewer. We don't have mix color node or anything like that. Anything fancy. We just use random for now. So random, of course, gonna give pretty random color, but that's alright. Now we actually have value. Render, okay, that's what we got. And switch back to this guy. Instead of diffuse, I'm just gonna use emissions for now, so I don't need to have any lighting. So that's what we got. And the random can be, I have a feeling that can actually have random seed as well, so to have more interesting result, just copy the seed from this guy. Where are you? There you go. Plug into the seed. And well, we're gonna have 100 variations. Well, the SV color is per object, so I better not to do silly things like that. That's random enough. We can always mix it inside cycles. Just find the one you like. In fact, leaving it as black and white is probably a good idea as well. You can have random face. Wait. Randomize the third order loop. Yeah, don't worry about it. This is exactly what we need for now. Switch back to solid. Here we can actually turn everything into a blob. Control 3 or Control 2. Control 2 is enough. So they are less rugged, more kind of just random blob like that. It has interesting look. Okay. Next we will use this guy. We're gonna group this guy. We can group it in Sverchok. Just group it. Now by scrubbing, I already grouped it. Now we can hide this guy into another layer. Doesn't matter. Now I will just go to top view. I actually have pie menu now. How do I call the thing? Q. Okay, Q. Q and top. Q and top. I'm still getting used to using this pie menu. It's really handy. Now I'm going to make a letter, maybe letter B, using grease pencil. Holding D, I will just gonna write D, a B. Okay, B for Blender, B for BLENDERSUSHI. Now convert grease pencil into Bezier. We should have the Bezier somewhere. Do it again. Is it working? Checking the outliner. There you go. Oh, where's that button go? Okay, outliner. Select the grease pencil. Convert grease pencil Bezier. It's there somewhere. Let me check. Let me hide grease pencil. Yeah, it's actually there. I made it a couple of times. Delete, delete, and bring it to layer number 1. Okay, B, letter B. What are we gonna do with it soon? Okay, letter B is a curve. I will now convert it into mesh, and then mesh will have, if I switch to edit mode, this is like a mesh with a lot of points. We want to randomize it. We're not gonna use Sverchok or anything. I'm just gonna use Blender own randomization. So if I tap spacebar and type random, there is a randomized transform that will work for us. This is a quick Blender trick. Okay, uniform, normal, random seed. That will give you kind of cool pattern. Back to object mode. Okay, so from this we're gonna use it as we're gonna emit some particles, and from particles we're gonna use this guy as our instance. Okay, let's do that real quick. So this is gonna be the emitter of our particles. So switch to particles, new particles. I'm gonna turn off all the physics or all that sort of stuff, and I will born the particles all in frame 1, lifetime whatever 1000, numbers. How many of these vertices do we have? 2137, 2137, or we can just do 1500 for now. We're gonna emit it from vertices because we have only vertices and edges. Turn off random. I think we have everything. Now in order to, let's check real quick. We are in edit mode still. Let's switch to object mode. Now we already have a bunch of particles. Can we make the particles bigger? Let's see. Display as points, display as, yeah, we can have bigger points like that. Numbers, not velocity size. In order to use instance objects as our to replace our particles, we just need to go to group, and there's a duplicate group, and we just select alpha, and now we have all the blobs being scattered on the particles. So we can use actually I accidentally click on the whole group. That's not good. Okay, turn off. Luckily Blender didn't actually crash. Should never do that. 1000 times 2000 is like 2 million instance. Let's wait a little bit. Basically that's duplicating the whole group, and we have 1000 of them. It's very dangerous to do that. Maybe I should just restart Blender. Yep. Force quit. Blender. Sorry about that. There's a bit of hiccup. And where were we? Type. 3D typography. No. Typography. Rough ink drop types. Okay, that's what I call it. Okay, cool. Luckily I saved. So let's switch to group, and don't pick that. Pick random, yes. Pick object random from group randomly. Okay, use count doesn't matter. Size will matter. Get our group. Rotation can be random. Use objects rotations for duplications, doesn't matter. Global scale, random size, so you can randomize it here. So obviously we can actually do this in Sverchok or animation nodes, like all the instancing. But every now and then we want to go back to Blender's own system, because maybe eventually Blender have node-based system for particles, so we need to know all of them. So we got our text ready. All we need to do is just to render it out. Render. That's what we got. The rotation looks funky. And the color also not the most beautiful, but this is kind of random. Global, let's see, size, random size. We can randomize further the rotation here, so there's not a problem. So that's more random. Cool. Back to the material. This is emissions. Let's brighten up a little bit. Maybe turn off the background color. If you want, of course, the color from Sverchok is pretty random. It's based on the Vertex color. We can use mix RGB, and maybe the color, for the color we can use random object info location, or random, maybe random, and then here we can use this plugin random. Random give you grayscale value, so it's not so good. HSV, combine HSV hue, yeah, this might work better. Not too saturated. Multiply, add, subtract, screen, divide, slightly better. Difference, lighten, darken, dodge, overlay. One of these will give you nice result. But anyway, it's totally up to you how you want to colorize the ink drops. But so the one we got from Sverchok is like that. From far away, it looks like just like leaves. You can use this for, they're kind of like a flat planes. You can use for maybe trees, leaves for trees, and if we have a factor like that, and saturation or value, strings of 1 give you that. You can always come back to Sverchok, and then okay, you shouldn't be too random. I don't know, maybe Sverchok have HSV. It doesn't have, but you can make your own HSV. Let me think. Back to cycle material. Maybe we can, at this point actually we can increase and decrease the number of points. So that's probably looking better. mix the color. Yeah, that's kind of pastel look, quite nice, with a bit of variation. That's not looking too bad. Just a little bit flat, but not too bad. Add. Yeah, that's not bad. I quite like that. So yeah, so you can make you can move the particles. So at the moment they are static, but if you really want them to be moving, turn on Newtonian, turn off gravity, and make them jitter using Brownian. Turn on Brownian, turn on damping, turn off the normal, and let's check it out. So they're actually moving. If I stop the rendering, maybe use some like matcap and hide the GB layer. Oops, cannot. Turn on only render and playback. Where's ambient occlusion? Yeah. And switch to full screen. And the particle should be moving slightly. Maybe the damp's too high, Brownian's too low. If I actually back to solid and then add a turbulence perhaps. Strength of 5, global, noise, flow. Turbulence of 50. Now they should really be moving. So yeah, so there you go. That's how you probably, if you want to create something similar, kind of like a ink blobs pattern, and it was generated using Sverchok. There's probably a word for this kind of artworks. Discombobulated, kind of a little bit abstract, but also a little bit more modern. Stop that. And yeah. There you go. Create it using Sverchok for the shapes, and then the color comes from cycles and from Sverchok as well. And we use particles to instance all these shapes. Alright, okay, if you like this video, you can leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel, and then I'll see you